We're counting down the minutes to the first pitch of today's game.
Yes!
Who's in the starting lineup?
Come on, son. You got to get out there and take the mound. It's game time.
What does the skipper have to say?
It's an attitude. You got to be willing to defend. You got to be willing to base run, or you can't play here.
It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook with Tommy Wortz on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome into the leadoff show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting you caught up on all things Brewers, Mariners after Milwaukee sweeps the LA Dodgers. Now 10 games in a row for the Crew. Tied for the best record in baseball, 59-40. Best record in the National League, I should say. It'll be Brandon Woodruff on the bump going up against George Kirby. First pitch scheduled for 8:40 Central Time from T-Mobile Park. Game number 100 on the season. The lineup looks a lot different than it did from game one.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Milwaukee Brewers, Seattle Mariners. Let's start with the Mariners lineup today. Leading things off for Seattle, it'll be the shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Julio Rodriguez will play center field and bat second. The home run king, Cal Raleigh, is catching, batting third. Randy Arozarena is in left field today, batting fourth. Jorge Polanco will bat fifth and be the DH, while Luke Raley is at first base, batting sixth. Dominic Canzone will be in right field, batting seventh today. Ben Williamson is at third base, batting eighth. Cole Young is the second baseman. He will bat ninth for the Mariners. Now, for the Milwaukee Brewers, leading things off at second base, it is Bryce Terang. William Contreras is catching, batting second today. Christian Yelich is the DH. He will bat third. Jackson Chourio in right field in the cleanup spot. Isaac Collins in left field will bat fifth. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat sixth. Blake Perkins in center field, batting seventh today. Anthony Siegler, the third baseman, will bat eighth. Rounding things out for the Crew, it is the shortstop, Joey Ortiz. Sometimes when you're on the air, ideas just come to you as you say it out loud because you're just talking and not thinking. Just for fun now here, the opening day lineup for the Brewers when they took on the New York Yankees on March 27th. Jackson Chourio was leading off. Christian Yelich was the DH. William Contreras was catching. Hoskins was at first base, obviously still on the team, but hurt right now. Sal Frelick was in right field, batting fifth. Joey Ortiz was batting sixth in the lineup. They were going up against a lefty, don't forget, too. Garrett Mitchell in center field. Vinny Capra starting third baseman for the Crew. Bryce Terang was at second base. He was batting ninth. Looks a lot different at game number 100 now here as opposed to when it did at game number one. And the Milwaukee Brewers' tone, quite frankly, since then has completely changed. 59-40 is the best record in the National League, just a half a game behind the Detroit Tigers, who are 60-40 for the best record in baseball. A season high, 19 games over 500, looking to get that high watermark of 20. The Milwaukee Brewers winning 10 games or more in a row for the first time since 2021 right now. If you go back to postseason play in 2018, they did win 12 in a row going into that postseason. But right now, it's just the 8th time they've ever won 10 or more games in a row in the team's history, and they are currently in that streak. It would be the best 100-game start to a season, tying 1979, if the Brewers were able to win today against the Seattle Mariners. But we go over the first game, or the game from the day before, in the first segment, rather, on every single leadoff show. What went down yesterday in LA?
Did you miss the last game? Did you miss what was said after the last game? It's time to rewind. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
It was Jose Quintana going up against the soon-to-be first ballot Hall of Famer Clayton Kershaw yesterday. A couple of southpaws on the mound in the finale of Brewers and Dodgers, and Quintana would find himself in a little bit of trouble earlier in this game. In the third inning, Jose Quintana would give up a leadoff double to Andy Pages. Dalton Rushing would get a sacrifice fly to move him over. Then Shohei Ohtani had a 2-run blast in the inning. It would make it 3-0 in favor of the LA Dodgers. However, in the fourth, this has been the Brewers' biggest strength maybe during this stretch. Every time they are punched, they counter. They punch back. Andrew Vaughn leads things off with a walk. Isaac Collins grounded out, but Andrew Vaughn was able to get over to second. Blake Perkins eventually had a 2-out infield single that would score Andrew Vaughn on a throwing error. Then Andrew Monasterio would help things out and give the crew their first lead of the day.
1-2, line drive left field. It's down. They're going to send the runner around third. Ruiz throw way offline. Monasterio digging for 2, and he's there. It's 3-2 now on the RBI hit by Monasterio.
Did I say lead? I did not mean to say lead. It was 3-2 in favor of the LA Dodgers, but then the next man up, Joey Ortiz, would help tie things up.
Now Ortiz to center. Pages is there and dropped it. It's off the wall. Ortiz is into second base, and the Brewers have tied the game.
I don't know who the official scorer was, but they called that a double originally. It was so obviously an error. It got changed by the time Joey Ortiz came back up. It was 3-3 after the top of the fourth inning when the Brewers were able to bounce back against the Dodgers. Quintana would settle down in the fifth. He does allow a solo home run to Esteury Ruiz, Brewers legend, if you remember him back in the day. And Quintana would finish the fifth. Brewers are down 4-3. In the top part of the sixth inning, Eric Haas would help things out for the crew, continuing to come up in the limited chances he has.
Haas down the line. They're going to send Ortiz around third. This game is tied as Haas singles home a run to make it 4-4.
4-4, and the Brewers were not done in the inning. Jackson Chourio singles right after that. Andrew Vaughn draws another walk. Isaac Collins with the bases loaded, continuing to stay hot.
Base hit up the middle. 1 run scores. Chourio coming home. He will score. Play at third is an out. Count the run at home. Collins comes through to make it 6-4.
It was actually a massive run that Jackson Chourio was able to account for as he was sprinting home on that single to center field from Isaac Collins. Andrew Vaughn was thrown out at third base. We can stop sending Andrew Vaughn anytime now, too. He obviously does not have the speed. He's been thrown out on the bases a few times. It's the one thing he doesn't have, speed. And I know this team loves speed. Andrew Vaughn is not speed. The Brewers have the lead 6-4 after that sixth inning from the crew. Then Jose Quintana finishes 6 innings. He would eventually work 6 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, no walks in the game. Surprised Pat Murphy left him in there, but obviously had faith in him to get through it, and he did in a massive point. Grant Anderson came in the 7th, shut things down for the crew. In the 8th, it was DL Hall and Nick Mears to combine get 4 men up and out at the plate. In the 9th, things got a little dicey. We saw Abner Uribe try to give Trevor McGill a blow. Tommy Edman would have a 1-out single. Then Andy Pages would reach on a single later on with 2 outs in the inning. Conforto would walk. Will Smith scores on a throwing error, which I don't know why we saw Andrew Vaughn miss that ball, but he should not have missed that ball by all means. It was 6-5. A fly out from Mookie Betts to center field would end things for the Milwaukee Brewers and the LA Dodgers. 6-5 the final. Jose Quintana picks up the victory. The loss goes to Lou Trevino. Abner Uribe picks up his second save on the season. The Milwaukee Brewers now 59-40, 26-23 on the road. Now a better record than the LA Dodgers, sitting at 58-42. Pat Murphy speaking to the media after the game. 6-5 victory, 6-0 against the Dodgers now on the season. Here is the manager, Pat Murphy, after the victory in LA.
Mookie's one of the best players in the game. And shows you how hard our game is. You do everything perfect, and you hit a line drive right where you need to. And he could have walked us off, or he could have hit it right to a fielder. And so that's the way baseball is.
To come in here and sweep these guys, sweep the season series against the Dodgers, what do you just think that says about your club right now?
I think you got to, understand that this is a bunch of people that, have gotten to this point and just kept clawing away. They're hungry. And I'm really, really proud of them, but we got work to do. We got work to do to improve in every area we can, but we can at least feel like we're capable,
Is it kind of fitting of your club to come in here against all the stars that these guys have and win with the players that helped you win? Collins, Vaughn, Durbin, Joey. Does that kind of sum up where your team is right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bunch of guys nobody's ever heard of. Like I said, I was no disrespect to the great fans of Japan baseball, but they can't name 5 players in our lineup. And today, for sure, they can't name 5. They can't name 2 in today's lineup. And that's just a credit to hungry players. And the Dodgers are running into tough luck, and they're not playing their best baseball, and they'll get back on track and be a juggernaut that they are. But I still proud of our club and what they did, and how they competed in big situations, and a bunch of average Joes.
Murph, yesterday, all 9 hitters had hits. Today, all 9 hitters reach. But how much pressure were you guys able to put on your pitching staff, all series long, and getting into deep into their bullpen?
I mean, Kershaw he knows how to pitch, man. He's still got it. He's still got years left if he wants to, or if he just wants to go to the house and be a great dad that I know he is. He can do either one, but he can still pitch. So, in the lineup we had in there today, there's a lot of guys that aren't regulars that were in there today, and it felt good that we kept grinding at bats out. They know how they have to play, and Eric Haas, catching all 9 innings, and he doesn't get to play very much, getting a big RBI hit with 2 outs. Ortiz, what can you say about the way the guy played defense? I mean, and the way he swung the bat. 2 hard contacts today. He's been unbelievable defensively. Monasterio stepping up, getting a huge 2-out hit, RBI. Perkins literally didn't have spring training. And what can you say about Collins? Collins, Vaughn, and Durbin have given us such a lift. But Collins has been the silent hero. He's played great defense, gotten big hits, hitting 4th in the lineup. The kid wasn't going to make the team in spring training unless there was a huge injury, and there was 2 of them. But he wasn't making the team. He's hitting 4th in our lineup. Vaughn was in AAA last week, and couldn't break the lineup on the last place team. So, we're just really fortunate that these guys are gelling and coming together and just, playing hungry, and anything's possible. And they're playing with that. There's a real possibility.
All highlights and that Pat Murphy sound courtesy of FanDuel Sports Network. There is Pat Murphy speaking to the media after the game. It is the leadoff show live from the 1250 AM 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. The Milwaukee Brewers 10-game winning streak after sweeping the LA Dodgers 3-0 over the weekend, first series after the All-Star break. It's just the 4th time in MLB history the reigning champ has been swept in a season series that went at least 6 games. Continuing to look at this date, since May 25th, Brewers are 34-12. That is the best record in baseball. It's a .739 winning percentage. Jackson Chourio enters the day on a 14-game hitting streak, a career high now for Jackson Chourio. He's batting .364 in that time, has 3 home runs, 12 RBIs, a .972 OPS during that stretch. A lot of people talking about the Milwaukee Brewers on the offensive side and how poor they have played so far on the offensive side, looking at the analytics and metrics of it. If you look at some of the hard hit rate, the Brewers are near the bottom part of the league. Their early season numbers really didn't help them looking back at their current state of the MLB season. But since May 18th, OPS versus righties for the Milwaukee Brewers in the lineup, Christian Yelich, it's at 970. Sal Frelick, who obviously still isn't even in the lineup right now, 872. Isaac Collins, 798. Caleb Durbin, 789. Churio, 730. All of those numbers above the 100 OPS plus mark in Major League Baseball, all above average hitters during that same time. And really, Caleb Durbin, another guy that just continuing to impress every time he's out on the field. We saw Andrew Monasterio pick up some slack yesterday. Blake Perkins, his return has been awesome so far. Anthony Siegler in the lineup today, given a day off. Really, we'll talk about it later on with Drew Wagner. It might be the most complete and deep team for the Milwaukee Brewers, 1 through 26, that they've had in the last 25 years. Maybe since longer than that. But the Milwaukee Brewers team right now, we read off what the beginning part at the beginning of the show, their lineup was on opening day. Completely different, it feels like right now, for the Milwaukee Brewers during that time. Last time the Brewers were 60-40 at the 100-game mark for the MLB season was back to 1979. It's already guaranteed to be the second best 100-game start. Back in 2021, Brewers were 58-42. That 1982 season, the Brewers were 57-42-1, a better mark guaranteed, now sitting at 59-40. Brandon Woodruff on the bump today for his third start of the season. Woodruff last started on July 12th versus Washington, had a no decision in the 6-5 victory. He went 4 1/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 10 strikeouts on just 81 pitches. It was his 20th double-digit strikeout game of his career. Remember, back on July 6th in Miami, he had 8 strikeouts in 6 innings, missed the whole year last year. Woodruff, really a spark for this team, and you can almost point back to that date as well. What did Brandon Woodruff do for this team? When he came out and he shoved against Miami, that was a massive part for this Milwaukee Brewers team as well, to show the success, the turnaround, that fire in the dugout. It's the most complete team right now, and they're riding a hot streak that they just got to keep going with right now. We'll talk to Austin Herdina later on in the show. He comes up at 8 o'clock today. We will talk to Drew Wagner at 8:15 as well from Forbes Sports. If you want to get some of your best bets, that's what Austin Herdina is for. Coming up on the other side, we'll make sure we get some of the Building a Winner feature in. Take a look around the minor leagues, presented by Iron Workers Local 8. That's always a fun time as well. It is the leadoff show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
The key to building a winner in baseball is a strong minor league system. Who are the names we should know? How did they play in their last game? It's time for Building a Winner, powered by Ironworkers Local 8. Apply today at IWL8.org and join the Brotherhood building Milwaukee's skyline. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Yes, time for another Building a Winner feature here on the Leadoff Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tommy Wortz here with you. Before we take a look around the minor leagues with Building a Winner, presented by Ironworkers Local 8, let me run down the Major League roster lineup today for you. Bryce Terang leads things off. He's at second base. William Contreras is catching, batting second. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat third. Jackson Chourio in right field will bat fourth today. Isaac Collins in left field will bat fifth. Andrew Vaughn, the first baseman, will bat sixth. Blake Perkins in center field bats seventh today. Anthony Siegler at third base will bat eighth. Rounding things out at shortstop, it is Joey Ortiz.
Nashville Sounds.
Nashville yesterday losing to the Indianapolis Indians 7-3. They are now in third place in the West Division of the International League. Drew Avon's 1 for 3 with a home run. Daz Cameron 2 for 4 in the contest as well. And Daz Cameron, a pair of hits, drove in a run for AAA Nashville yesterday. The multi-hit performance was the outfielder's fifth in his last 6 games, dating back to July 10th, since his first game with the Sounds on April 11th. Cameron now has 11 games with 2 or more hits across 18 appearances, batting .397 with a .904 slugging during that time. Yes, .904 slugging. His OPS is over 1,300 during that stretch. That is tops in all of minor league baseball. Minimum of 30 plate appearances. No games tonight. As you know, Monday's the off days across minor league baseball, but we got plenty still to talk about from yesterday.
Biloxi Shuckers.
Biloxi yesterday wins over the Montgomery Biscuits 6-5. They're in fourth place, 3.5 games back in the South Division of the Southern League for the second half, which they currently now sit at 9-12. In that game, Cooper Pratt 1 for 4, Garrett Spain 2 for 4 with a double, 3 RBIs, a homer in the contest. But it was Zach Peak, the pitcher, who picked up his 7th win of the season, 3 2/3 scoreless innings of relief work for Biloxi. The win ties him with Tate Cooner for the third most in the organization. 3 2/3 marked a season high for Mr. Peak this season. He currently has a 3.48 ERA, 44 innings of work with 17 earned runs during that stretch in 29 games between Class A Wisconsin and now 12 games with the Shuckers during that time.
Wisconsin Timber Rattlers.
Timber Rattlers yesterday lose 5-4 in 10 innings to Cedar Rapids, looking to bounce back 8.5 games back in 6th place now in the West Division. It has been a rough second half for the Timber Rattlers up in Appleton, 7-17 now. Much needed break on a Monday for the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers.
Carolina Mudcats.
Mudcats are in first place after another victory over Delmarva. That is Baltimore's low A affiliate. 5-2. They are in first place by a game in the North Division of the Carolina League. 4-game winning streak now for the Cardiac Cats, as some are calling them. 15-7 in the second half. Jesus Made 1 for 2, a couple of walks and a double in the game. Luis Pena 1 for 4 with an RBI and a stolen base. Pedro Ayurbayan as well has clubbed his first home run at the Class A level, connecting for a solo shot in the 9th inning over Delmarva. Since his promotion on June 26, he's gotten a hit in each of his 8 games, batting .357 with an OPS almost 920 or so, about that, dating back to his time with the Complex League Brewers. He's reached base now in 15 straight games, 18 hits during that time, in 56 plate appearances as well. Complex League was off.
Arizona Complex League Brewers.
But DSL Blue and Gold both playing in Summer League in the Dominican Republic. neither picking up a victory as it was the All-Star game as well. Steven Duran, Yohan Pena, and Jonathan Rangel at the All-Star game for the Milwaukee Brewers. Pena recorded the final 2 outs of the 7th inning. Duran tossed a scoreless 9th as well. Rangel pinch hit in the 4th inning, caught 4 innings behind the plate, went 0 for 2 in the contest. This Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8, building Milwaukee's future one beam at a time. Exciting time indeed for the Milwaukee Brewers in the minor leagues right now, continuing to go a little bit down on the overall organizational standings. 260 and 222 is 6th best in all of baseball. They are behind the Tigers, the Giants, the Mets, the Rays, and the Pirates currently right now. As we see and look at the top 10 prospects, Jesus Made, Jacob Mizorowski, Luis Pena, the top 3 for Milwaukee, all within the top 36. Cooper Pratt sits at 41 and is in 4th. Jefferson Cuero, 67, is the 5th prospect. Logan Henderson, 6th right now at number 88, according to MLB Pipeline. Mike Bovee, Luke Adams, Braylon Payne, Tyler Black round things out for the Milwaukee Brewers as well, as far as MLB Pipeline goes with their rankings. Coming up, we're going to talk to Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, get you some of the best bets if you want to get any action on tonight's game against the Mariners. Have some sound from Quinn Priester I'll try to get to as well. He was on MLB Network today, and of course Drew Wagner joining the leadoff show each and every day. That'll happen around 8:15 today. It is the leadoff show live from the 1250 AM 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
See you later.
Let's get the latest on today's odds for the game. What's the best way to go? Let's check in with our expert from the Potawatomi Sportsbook to find out. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Show. Tommy Wortz here with you, other side of the 8 o'clock hour, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Before we get to Austin Herdinho over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, let me run down the Milwaukee Brewers lineup one more time for you guys here today. Bryce Terang at second base will lead things off. William Contreras, the catcher, will bat second. Christian Yelich is the DH, batting third. Jackson Chourio in right field bats cleanup today. Isaac Collins in left field will bat fifth. Andrew Vaughn at first base bats sixth. Blake Perkins in center field batting seventh today. Anthony Stiegler at third base will bat eighth. Joey Ortiz, the shortstop, rounds things out. He's batting ninth for the Crew. Joining the show now, as he does each and every day, Sportsbook manager over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law Offices. It is Austin Herdinho joining the show. Austin, day off yesterday. You all recharged, ready to go, make a parlay today for the boys?
Hey, I'm ready to go. How about another Brewers win? Come from behind win. That was exciting.
Exciting indeed, and they just keep being underdogs, Austin. We keep riding this train now, 10 in a row for the Milwaukee Brewers. It's just so exciting, right? What's been the most exciting part? What's been your favorite part watching these Milwaukee Brewers through this stretch now here?
Oh, we're always alive. Even if we fall behind a few runs, it just doesn't feel like it's over. You know, the offense has been coming through in clutch moments. Our pitching has been just phenomenal. I don't have numbers in front of me, but we have to be best pitching staff in the past month.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like we've barely allowed, 2 runs a game, I think, is what we've averaged in the last couple of weeks.
I believe yesterday they were the second best starting pitching ERA since June 1st, and I think the best bullpen ERA, our top 3 bullpen ERA in the same time frame as well, too.
Yeah, I mean, you put those two things together, that's a recipe for wins. It's obviously a huge contributor to why we've won 10 in a row. And in case you haven't heard, if you're living under a rock, that's 10 wins in a row for this Brewers team. It's pretty exciting.
Pretty exciting indeed. They were underdogs all 3 games of the LA Dodgers series, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. A little closer to even money, but technically Sportsbook underdogs again over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook money line, plus 105 for the Milwaukee Brewers today. The run line of 1.5 at plus 180 for Seattle. The over-under low today, Austin, 6.5, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. What are you looking at today from your most popular bets that you want to start up for a parlay for the people today?
You know what? 10 in a row. How can I go?
Right.
How can I go against that right now? So we're taking the Brewers at plus money, plus 105. And another thing that's interesting too is in the last 7 Brewers games, nobody scores in the first inning. So I'm taking under 0.5. So meaning no one scores in the first inning. And then, Chourio is on a 14-game hitting streak. I don't know if you've heard about that.
Yeah.
But another guy I like is Christian Yelich. I feel like I've been pretty good with when picking him and him coming through with some hits. So I'm going to stay away from Chourio. I'm going with Yelich. So Brewers to win, no runs in the first inning, Yelich to get a hit. We're looking at plus 400 on a parlay.
Plus 400 at the Potawatomi Sportsbook on Brewers money line. No runs in the first inning. Christian Yelich to record a hit pays plus 400, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Austin, I didn't get to ask you about how UFC 319 went. How were things on Saturday over at the Sportsbook?
Amazing. We couldn't have asked for a better UFC card. So exciting. In the first 4 fights of the main card, all the underdogs won. I know there's a guy today that had a $10 ticket that paid out just over 10,000. So over 1,000 to 1 on all the underdogs.
Wow.
And then on the last fight, so he picked all the underdogs in the first 4, and then on the last one, he actually flipped it and went with the small favorite. He went with Holloway over Poirier. And so that was good. So $10 won him $10,000. It was pretty amazing.
I just went over to the Potawatomi Sportsbook myself, Austin, and after that sweep yesterday of the Milwaukee Brewers, the line I think has since moved, but I got 25-1 odds on the Brewers to win the World Series. Threw $50 on it. It'll pay plus 1250 now over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I mean, the math just works out so nice. We're 12:50 a.m. I gotta go out there and place the bet on it. But I'm that excited right now. It sounds like it was an awesome event on Saturday as well. Plenty of futures, any sort of betting you want over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook available. Austin, if there's any other future events people want to get involved, know about even what are some of the few events over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, how might they find that out and how might they get hooked up so they can go see that?
Yeah, this weekend coming up, we're going to go another UFC fight night. No reservations are required. The next nights that reservations are open for is for SummerSlam. We are going a little bit outside of our comfort zone with wrestling instead of sports betting, but we want to show SummerSlam Saturday, August 2nd and August 3rd. If you want to get a table, go to Potawatomi.com, go to Sportsbook, and go to reservations. It's going to be a fun event. We're going to have it on the big screen with the audio. Looking for some wrestling fans to come on in and enjoy themselves.
Yeah, it should be awesome. Football season ramping up too. Can people reserve tables for that quite yet too, or they keep on the lookout for there? I mean, I'm sure Sunday's got to be one of the busiest days during the football season for you guys, Austin.
Absolutely. We don't have that open yet. We'll have that open probably a couple of weeks before the season starts. So look for that in late August or maybe even mid-August. But right now, we're 10 days away from the first preseason football game. Lions and Chargers, just 10 days away. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I know. I wish I could get up for preseason. I just can't. Every year I think, I can't wait preseason. And then I watch and I'm like, who is this guy from a college I've never heard of that is playing right now? But absolutely going to be a fun time over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook because you can eat and you can drink while you watch it. And maybe that's where my flaw is. I haven't been doing that when I watch preseason football. Austin, thank you so much for jumping on today. Enjoy the rest of your night, my friend. We'll do it again tomorrow. And, of course, go Brewers.
Thank you. Go Brewers.
There he is, Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. His parlay for the people again today in case you missed it. Brewers money line, the under of a run in inning number 1. And Christian Yelich to record a hit. It'll pay plus 400 over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. And you just heard that story, hey? 1,000-1 odds they just paid out on a UFC bet this weekend. Like, you think it can't be you, but it can if you go to the Potawatomi Sportsbook for sure. Coming up, we'll talk to Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports on the other side of this break. Asked him a little bit about what he was thinking with this Milwaukee Brewers team over this 10-game stretch right now, and, of course, getting everything ready for Brewers-Mariners today as Brandon Woodruff will be on the mound for Milwaukee, taking on George Kirby of Seattle. It is the leadoff show live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
What's the latest on the Crew? Let's go inside the clubhouse with Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports on the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Inside the Clubhouse is brought to you by Focus Baseball. Sign your kids up now for July open tryouts at focusbaseball.com, ages 6 to 17.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Before we get over to Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports, let me run down Milwaukee's lineup one last time for you guys here today. Leading things off at second base, it is Bryce Terang. William Contreras will bat second. He is the catcher. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat third. Jackson Churio is batting fourth today. He is the right fielder. Isaac Collins in left field will bat fifth. He is in. Andrew Vaughn is batting sixth and playing first base. Blake Perkins at center field bats seventh today. Anthony Siegler, the third baseman, will bat eighth. Joey Ortiz rounds things out. He bats ninth for the Crew. Joining the show now, as he does each and every day, you can follow his work at Forbes Sports. Follow him on Twitter at by Andrew Wagner on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law Offices. It is Drew Wagner joining the Leadoff Show. Drew, where might your nightly travels take you tonight, my friend?
As soon as we get done with this here interview, I'm going to be heading to a show in Madison tonight. So, yeah, and I'll be tracking the Brandon Woodruff quest for number 11 on my phone during said show. So it's going to be a big night.
Should be an awesome night. Indeed, Brandon Woodruff on the mound, like you said there, Drew. And let's bring it up just because you brought him up right away. Brandon Woodruff now, it'll be his third start back now with the Milwaukee Brewers today after coming back from the year-and-a-half shoulder injury. How much is he allowed to ramp up now? Is it, his first outing, he went 6 innings, but the pitch count was only up to 70 pitches. Last time, it got up to 81 pitches against Washington. How available is Brandon Woodruff to start really going all he has in the tank, full force, and away from any sort of limitations after coming back from this injury, do you think?
I think he's full strength at this point. I think he's full blow. I mean, listen, yeah, he's had only 2 starts at the big league level, but how many minor league starts did he have now? I think it was 10, something like that. So, I mean, the guy is obviously he's healthy. They're not going to push it too far. They're not going to get crazy with it because he is still a guy coming off a very, very serious shoulder reconstructive surgery. But in terms of limitations, anything like that, I don't think they're there. I think Woody's good to go just as Woody was pre-injury.
Yeah, 10 starts in minor league rehab starts. You were right on the money with it all the way back from April 12th. It's weird to think that Woody's been pitching for 3 months now. Obviously, a couple of absences when he got hit on the elbow and whatnot, but he has been back to professional baseball for quite some time now. Drew, the weekend in L.A., they sweep the Dodgers again. The Milwaukee Brewers 6-0 against the Dodgers in 2025. They are tied with the Chicago Cubs for the best record in the National League. Did you think we'd be saying this come game 100 about the Milwaukee Brewers this season?
I mean, I was pretty confident that this was going to be a good team from the get-go. And I'm not tooting my own horn here. I said 90, 92 in the division going into spring training. I stood by that even though it looked bleak. And it's looking like it's going to shape up that way. I will say that I am utterly shocked at the way that they have handled the so-called beasts of the National League right now. You go into Philadelphia, you sweep them. You host the Dodgers at home, you sweep them. Then you go right back into L.A. against a team that, let's face it, seeking revenge, and you still got probably the best lineup in baseball, and you sweep them again. And it was not easy. They had to fight for each and every one of those games. Now, I saw on Twitter, and I know who the culprits are. People saying, the Brewers are just getting lucky, and, they caught the Dodgers at a bad time. Well, guess what? That's what happens. And when you catch a team at a bad time, you have to take advantage of that. And by that rationale, the Brewers did what they were supposed to do. Are they supposed to feel bad because they beat a Dodgers team that wasn't at full strength and it was in a bit of a slump? No. You swept the Dodgers in L.A. That's pretty impressive. You're 9-0 right now against basically 2 of the best teams in the East, and you're 1-2 against the Cubs. You're going to see a whole lot of it in the next couple of weeks.
Drew Wagner joining the leadoff show. Follow him on Twitter at @ByAndrewWagner. Drew, I don't know how much luck can play into 19 games above 500, right? And when you look at their offensive numbers, especially on the analytical side, maybe they don't necessarily favor the Brewers. But the starting pitching right now, Drew, they're going up against the Seattle Mariners today, who maybe is another team considered to have one of the best rotations in all of baseball right now. But really, the Brewers are being carried through that starting pitching, right? And I don't know if you have a turning point in your mind, but I've been trying to search for one now of when this Milwaukee Brewers pitching staff just became solid and ready to go and deeper than ever, really, in fact, compared to any other MLB team. Do you point to anywhere in the season when you realized, whoa, things might be clicking for the Brewers or for the pitching staff just in general?
I mean, for the pitching staff in general, it was pretty early on because remember, even early in the season when they were slumping out to that 25-28 record, they were slumping in large part because their offense wasn't backing up some pretty good starting pitching efforts. You know, that journeyman rotation, that patchwork rotation that Pat Murphy and Matt Arnold put together was more than holding its own. They just weren't getting any offensive support. And they weren't, when they were getting it, they weren't getting it consistently. So I think the pitching, as strange as it is to say, has been there all along. It's been a matter of the offense finally coming around and adding some support. And I think that goes back to that Cleveland series. That was a brutal stretch. You know, they've been shut out a couple of times there. Some really poor at-bats, some really uncompetitive at-bats, and really some uncompetitive games from the offense. They had that closed-door meeting. Now, that probably wasn't a be-all, end-all of it, but I do think that's where the turnaround started. After going down so meekly during that week-long stretch, everything has seemed to click since.
Drew Wagner joining the leadoff show. Follow him on Twitter at @ByAndrewWagner. And Drew, now going into Seattle, this is a team that knows how to pitch very well, and they have the bats. Everyone knows about the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. How do the Brewers continue to go on their winning ways now? A 10-game winning streak looks like it's just about the 8th time that it's happened in franchise history right now. They're clicking on all cylinders indeed. How do you maintain focus when you already know that what you're doing is the top of your game at that moment?
I mean, I think it takes care of itself. You know what you have to do in order to beat good teams. You just did it for 3 straight days in a very tough place to do it. You've done it now 10 games in a row. When you're playing the best teams in baseball, to do the worst teams in baseball. And they did that with the Washington Nationals. I think the focus takes care of itself. Side note, you mentioned Cal Raleigh, the big dumper. So I'm cruising through the old Instagram this morning, and I see a sponsored ad with Cal Raleigh for a porta potty company.
Oh, yeah.
How perfect is that?
That's awesome.
How perfect is that?
That would be like Dan Vogelbach got a porta potty sponsorship throughout the way. I would be all in on that.
It was outstanding. Anyway, that was just a little side thought.
Drew, Milwaukee Brewers, Brandon Woodruff today, Mizorowski tomorrow, Priester for Game 3. Where is the weakness on this team right now? Because it seems like you can't point to the pitching side of things. I know an obvious might be, there's a couple positions here and there, but Joey Ortiz, since he changed his stance, might be right back in business too. The Milwaukee Brewers seem to be deeper than ever, more talented than ever, with a bunch of guys you've never heard of, too.
Yeah, I agree with you there. This is probably the most complete team that I've seen in my time covering it. There have been teams with bigger stars. 2008, 2011, you had Ricky, you had Prince, you had Braun. 2018, you had Yelich and Kane just out there raking it, had Stockus in there. You didn't have the pitcher. Here, you just have, and I think I said this a lot last year, too. 1 through 26, it's just a good team.
Yeah.
Unit. One of those sum is greater than the whole, whatever the cliche is. The weakness right now, I think, is probably your relief. And your big question marks right now are, can Mears and Koenig, can they get some rest? And part of that has to do with the offense. We've heard Pat Murphy talk about this being all interconnected. When the offense is tacking on and adding on runs, you can rest those guys. You can give those guys a break, and they need it. I think right now that 7th, 8th inning is by default the weakness. Maybe the left side of the infield, unless Joey Ortiz has really latched onto something. But I think right now that 7th and 8th inning is a weakness, but yet it's still pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So you look at the whole picture, they're in really good shape.
Brewers are 50-4 when leading after 7 innings in a ball game this season, and apparently we still are looking for all the right answers to make it look like it's 100%. And I agree. I think that a lefty bullpen arm wouldn't be a terrible trade move, especially if they're trying to move on from Cortez or whoever it might be from the rotation. I think it will be in the market for that. I think that's going to be the biggest splash, if there is a splash, for the Brewers even at the deadline. Drew, enjoy the rest of your night, my friend. We'll talk again tomorrow, same time, all right?
I just want to point out one last thing before we go. We talked, you asked me before Brandon Woodruff's debut in Miami, what kind of spark did Brandon Woodruff bring to this Brewers team? Well, I mean, his outing in Miami is what started this winning streak. So I guess that was one hell of a spark.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that, Drew. Take care, my friend.
See ya.
There is Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports. Follow him on Twitter @ByAndrewWagner. He jumps off the fan guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
How does the Crew win today's game? Who needs to step up? Let's find out with the keys to the game. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Keys to the game, how we wrap up every leadoff show. Where do you even point with this team? Everything they do seems to be turning into gold right now. You have an offense that does enough every single day. Doesn't necessarily impress. I mean, they haven't hit a home run in quite some time, it feels like. Just continue to manufacture every way they can. I would love to see Christian Yelich, Contreras, Churio, one of them just get one over the wall. They have not done this with a huge power stroke by any means. I saw a stat that they're 16 runs more than second place for unearned runs as well. Continue that aggression, making every play just look more and more difficult for the defense out there. And then Brandon Woodruff, just let it all loose today. Feels like that is now time for Brandon Woodruff. 70 pitches, 81 pitches. Like, let's just continue to go up from there, Mr. Woodruff. And he gets to do it against a lineup today that is not any slouch by any means. Run it down one more time for you guys here today. J.P. Crawford leading it off for Seattle. Julio Rodriguez in center field will bat second. Cal Raleigh, the catcher, will bat third. Randy Arozarena is cleaning up. He's in left field. Jorge Polanco, the DH, will bat fifth. Luke Raley at first base will bat sixth. Dominic Canzone, the right fielder, batting seventh today. Ben Williamson is the third baseman, batting eighth. Cole Young at second base bats ninth. And for the Milwaukee Brewers, Bryce Terang at second base leads things off. William Contreras is catching. He will bat second. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat third. Jackson Churio in right field bats fourth today. Isaac Collins in left field batting fifth. Andrew Vaughn at first base bats sixth. Blake Perkins in center field batting seventh. Anthony Siegler, the third baseman, batting eighth. Joey Ortiz rounding it out for the Milwaukee Brewers. He will bat ninth and play shortstop for the Crew. That's another thing here, like an Anthony Siegler day where you just have Caleb Durbin with a day off. Yesterday we saw it where Bryce Terang didn't play. Andrew Monasterio was in, and they're just finding ways that everyone on the team can be a contributor now. We haven't seen Tyler Black yet being called up for Jake Bauers heading to the IL. I wonder when we're going to see our first Tyler Black sighting of 2025. But just never missing a beat, no matter who is in the lineup. That has been the biggest strength right now for the Milwaukee Brewers. Continuing to do that, a huge key to today's game against the Seattle Mariners. 2 wins away from 12 free burgers at George Webb's. That's always going to be a fun promo everyone's keeping an eye on, but you got to take care of business in game number 11, hopefully, of the streak today as the Milwaukee Brewers, Brandon Woodruff versus George Kirby. First pitch scheduled for 8:40 from T-Mobile Park in Seattle. That's going to do it for us here on the Leadoff Show. We are out of time today. We will be back tomorrow, 7:30, same time. We'll be joined by Austin Herdenia of the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and of course Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports as well to close things out as he did today. Had to record it a little bit earlier. You might have saw on the YouTube stream. Make sure you guys check us out on YouTube, The Fan Milwaukee on YouTube, at The Fan Milwaukee. Use that @ symbol as well when you are looking that up. It is the Leadoff Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Don't forget, send them home.